morning, class. Today we are going to explore the story and the history of William Shakespeare as an introduction to our next play that we are going to read, which is Macbeth. I hope you're all very excited to learn about him. Some important key terms you'll probably need to know is the Globe Theatre. This is the theater where all of Shakespeare's plays were performed in front of thousands of people. They called it the Elizabethan Theatre because Queen Elizabeth needed to approve all the plays. Luckily, she liked William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was a part of a theatre company titled the Lord Chamberlain's Men and the King's Men. At the end of the day, the Puritans believed playhouses were evil, and they closed down all the theatres in 1642. There's no actual record of Shakespeare's birth date. However, based on his baptism, which usually happens 3 days later, he was believed to be born April 23rd. He went to a local school in Stratford, and it was believed that he would have studied Latin and read works of ancient Roman writers, which would have taught him all he needed to know about writing plays. He married Anne Hathaway in 1582. In 1583, he had their first daughter, and in 1585, they gave birth to twins. The Globe Theatre is where all of Shakespeare's plays were performed, and actually, he was part owner of the Globe Theatre. It burned down in 1613, but they rebuilt it in 1614. It was open air and only performed during daylight, which meant the actors must tell us what time of day it is so that the audience knew, because the whole play was performed during the day. Shakespeare was an actor and a playwright. His plays were always approved by Queen Elizabeth. He wrote a total of 37 plays. Interestingly enough, and many people don't know this, he also published several books of poetry. At this point, he was very famous and very wealthy because of all his works and how popular they were and how popular he was with Queen Elizabeth. One work that we're going to read in our class is Macbeth, written by Shakespeare. It's a tale of deceit and lies and death, and it's very exciting, and I think you all will really enjoy reading it and acting it out. Some major themes we'll explore are the themes of sleeplessness, supernatural elements, weather, animals, gender, and fate. We will get into these important themes as we read, but it's important to recognize them at the beginning of the unit. Some of the main characters you will meet: King Duncan and his two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain. The noblemen of Scotland are Macbeth, Banquo, Macduff, Lennox, and Ross. You'll also meet the three witches: Hecate, who is the head witch, Lady Macbeth, who is Macbeth's husband, Lady Macduff, who is Macduff's wife, and Fleance, who is Banquo's son. In the beginning of the scene, the setting takes place in Scotland, and there's war. We stay here for most of the play. However, later in the play, we will visit England and we'll also visit Ireland. It's important to realize where the story is taking place. It's also important to realize that Shakespeare has many language omissions throughout, and his language is a little different. For example, tis is it is, and ope is open. If you review these terms, you'll see. Let's get ready to read. I hope you are all excited to dive into Macbeth.